So it's a good chance to jump in, and hopefully we see you at the next TwitchCon for Challengers. But right now, it is time to take care of business. The last game of TwitchCon. We have Impact Afro plummeting down. We already saw the spread, and we will see at the end of this our final champion of the weekend, our final champion of the convention. Which challenger will come out on top?
Yeah, absolutely. We're hopping on with a guy that was absolutely going off in the last game there at the end with some great shots. We are going to lose a player very early here in this match to a headshot from G Murda. T-Rex 7 going to get eliminated off the spawn. Two guys landing on top of each other. Really rough spot. And we're going to lose Kev Kid for the win, ending up in the same building there with Impact Logan on that SMG. Sometimes it is about who can get the weapon fastest, and this time it does go to Impact Logan.
Yeah, 2 kills coming up very quickly here. We are in that looting portion of the game. You can see the players right now just trying to grab everything possible. Impact Logan finding quite a bit to work with here. A few shots going to be fired out by Impact Afro. I think this is one of the scenarios early on where not necessarily trying to get any damage done, but in a good building, wants to let the other player know that they are there and tell them to back the H off, because they want to make sure that all of the loot is going to be theirs uncontested.
Yeah, you've got 2 options there. Either 1, you land, you decide to back down, run away, or 2, you be that aggressive player that races them to the weapon. And typically the one that gets the weapon in that situation is going to win. You're definitely coin flipping. We talk about coin flipping when you go into close range combat. When you rush in to race people for weapons, you are absolutely flipping that coin to try and just figure out who's going to get that kill.
Oh, another kill going to come out. It's Rev Hamas. This is one of the Slayers that we actually did see qualify, taken out by Trozma. Another absolute Slayer. Trozma with everything but armor here on top of their body. But with a kill in their pocket, I'm pretty sure they're feeling pretty good about their inventory.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that is the nature of H1Z1, and that's what brings all the fun in those explosive endings, is that trying to get there, the journey that you have to go through to make it there is an uphill battle all the way.
Now we are going to see the first safe zone of game number 3. And this is somewhat similar to what we've seen before. It has pulled a little bit more to that northwestern portion of the map. So we're actually going to have Salty Tear Lake up in here this time around. But how do you expect this finish to play out? Could it be similar to what we saw in game number 2?
Not quite as similar as game number 2. We might see it go ahead and pull over here towards Salty Tear Lake. If it does continue to go ahead and pull northwest, we might get that Salty Tear Lake. Salty Tear Lake, again, is not quite as bad as getting to Ruby Lake or Runamuck Lake in terms of how much space it takes up, but it is eating up part of the safe zone. Water areas are typically just not usable area during these end games, so they definitely cause a little bit of tension in some open sight lines, so you sometimes get to see some long range combat as well, just because you can see everything across the lakes.
How long until you think we actually start to see the effects of the safe zone really start to play out?
The effects of the safe zone isn't going to come in until we really see which way this next one goes. These next 2 safe zones are the ones that are really going to determine where we end up at, and then after that point, as we've seen before, it starts to center. This first one is going to hit right against the edge of the first one, so it's going to pull one direction or another all the way to one side, and then past that point, we'll be able to start determining what that in safe zone is really going to look like.
Rooney and Mitch Gaming on an absolute collision course here. Rooney going to jump into that Jeep, try to put a little bit of distance between the two of them. Stover's now behind this 18-wheeler. Do I actually have to count the wheels? I'm not sure how many wheels that thing has. Rooney, though, is going to get shot just a few times here. Still inside of the Jeep, not looking too healthy. Needs to get away from this combat.
Yeah, he needs to get out of there, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He did have a little bit of heal already rolling, so it looked like he might have been in a previous combat, but that heal has rolled off now. He does have to stop the heal crossover with that AK, trying to get a shot into Wild, unable to get a hit. Wild, irritated that his car is getting shot. He's going to step back out and take some shots, not able to connect, but we do see that kill going down there on the shotgun. He finally does get a connection as we come back to the crossover versus Wild fight. Crossover throwing a new helmet on there, still fairly healthy with 75 health and a 2-hit on. He can still take a few shots, take a little bit of abuse. Both of these guys trading shots here, and they're going to stop to heal.
Crossover, we already did see Crossover debut in that boxing match that we actually did have earlier on in that Challenger series, but now we find ourselves in match 3 with massive amounts of money on the line. Don't think we're going to see any shenanigans like that out of this player, but we can see some long distance shots going to be the play, getting a few into that vehicle of Wild. And we can see right now below that 50% mark. Soon it will be losing a little bit of its handling, and now jumping on with Stovers, using his police car as cover, getting some shots into Impact Logan, trying to close the space just a little bit, get a little bit closer, get these shots. Impact Logan not peeking out too quickly here, moving on over to the other side of this rock to potentially peek out. We do see the throwable come out. No damage going to be done to Stovers here. Stovers bandaging up while behind this vehicle, but it's going to be Impact Logan who peeks out, puts in a couple of shots. Nardaraj goes down. That's going to be really rough for Nardaraj. Not a great showing in these 3 games, but Impact Logan still going to find himself inside of this fight with Stovers. Stovers still very healthy here behind this cop car.
Yeah, absolutely. Stovers still just sacrificing the car, though. I think Stovers is one of those people that hasn't been able to show up. Promethean going to go down 2 crossovers. We're going to come back to this fight. Stovers looking for kills potentially here because he doesn't think that he's going to place in the top 10. So he wants money, and he is going to chase in, and Impact Logan is going to go down. And this is something that we talked about during Legends. It's something that we talked about during All-Stars, is that when you get to this 3rd game, the guys that don't think that they're going to be able to make money and want it are going to start going kill hungry. They are going to start chasing them. Trosma here going to flip his Jeep as Stover starts eating it up. We're just watching these guys get their cars ripped apart at the moment.
We've seen both of these players be kill hungry in the past. We'll have to see if Trosma can compete with Stovers, and just like that, that grenade is going to connect. Stovers goes down, and that's going to be a whole bunch of loot coming Trosma's way after we did see Stovers win a fight. That's an early 2 for Trosma's here. So sometimes being that aggressor, even if you do want that $1,000, isn't going to pay off too well, especially if you are going to have to face a player like Trosma. Now moving over to this residential area, we can see that we may have another fight going down here, jumping up over the fence, trying to gain a little bit of vision. Going to see that shotgun blast go out. Fence is going to be lost here.
Making that swap to the AK off the shotgun as he pulls around the corner. A little bit easier to try and get some shots off, especially at that range where to the edge of the house is just outside of the shotgun's max efficiency range. So making a good decision to swap to the AK. Can't get the fight though, and he is going to go down to 7%. McLaughlin on the push, needs to get one more shot, able to get it from the AK on that hip fire. Does get hit once, but able to get the kill.
Now coming on board, we see Moose in my host. This player made it to the highlight reel last time. Let's see what Moose can do this time around. Noble Spirits off in another building. These 2 players shouldn't have to interfere with each other yet. But Dadbod is on the chopping block. It's going to be Impact Afro, an absolutely deadly player to throw in this grenade right now into the smoke. Not going to connect, but he will find Dadbod hiding out behind that tree, looking to cut down the dad.
Yeah, Afro looking for that. We know that this guy can hit some shots, but he
Dadbod takes him out.
Dadbod on that peak while low on the turn gets the kill.
Daddy, that was good. Now Noble Spirits inside of the building. This is his name.
You got a good stance there. And Noble Spirits here hanging out in this back door. We do have Moose in my hoose over in the spores there, hanging out inside. A lot of open space in there. I don't really like that particular spot. It's harder to hear or see players coming in. I usually, if I'm going to sit in there, I'm going to sit in the upstairs area where you got a little window. You can watch the front door, hear if anybody comes in the back door. A little bit more vision, but we'll see how long he's able to stay in there. Mitch Gaming with a player just outside. Mitch still bleeding, needs to heal, and Gangstar gonna find him through the window with that shotgun.
That was an absolutely beautiful play. Just through the smoke, through the window, we actually see Gangstar able to get that kill, and he manages to find the loot inside of that smoke right now. So he, to the victor, will go the spoils. Now we're jumping on board with another player here, kind of on an ATV. Okay, going to use that most likely to try to find another vehicle here.
Yeah, he's going to drive around. He definitely wants to be in a different vehicle. ATV is never the ideal one, but it's absolutely better than being stuck on foot. So we'll see if he, looks like he might be trying to go and find a little bit more loot. A little bit of shotgun ammo in there. Thought he was stopping originally to go ahead and check for some gas, but he's actually stopping, just making a quick pit stop. Needs a bag of chips and a drink.
Yeah, breaking fences, breaking windows, just on an absolute warpath with destructible items in the environment, but it is going to be a Blast Lord up against Eric. from World's Best Gaming. Helmet going to be popped off here up Blast Lord. Eric taking the driver's seat in this fight, still having the helmet and the body armor, but it's going to be Lazius right now who may fall down just like that. Roge going to make that one look easy, hopping back into the police car, but we go back to Blast Lord and our friend Eric trying to see who will come out on top in this fight. Blast Lord a little bit nervous here, going to jump back into the cop car, but it is on fire, needs to jump out soon. Gets out here, now into a fight with J-Rod.
Yeah, has to take this fight with J-Rod just from the vehicle getting blown up. J-Rod does want the fight, though. Hops out of the car and realizes Blast Lord's running right for him and goes ahead and backs up just a little bit to get a little more range on him. Loses the helmet here on Blast Lord. J-Rod nailing shots and drops in a Kobe to take him out.
Now J-Rod back inside of that cop car. Just double checking, making sure no one else is going to try to come in for a pinch. Looking safe here, going to drive that cop car around, just swinging it back around. Taking a peek here. What do you think of this spread of players?
Still very early. We still got to get another safe zone or two in before we really see where these players start to settle in. Everybody's pretty spread out. A lot of open field here. A lot of openness, just period, in terms of how big the safe zone still is. Zoltan, though, is in a fight here, getting shot at from multiple angles. He does have Dad Bob behind him, who we saw just recently take down a kill. And then he is also in a fight straight ahead with, it appears to be Subsea.
Zoltan in this fight, starting at a disadvantage, trying to stay. Oh man, this is just a dirty fight. Zoltan will fall down to Subsea. We see we only have 57 players remaining here. Gas going to advance in 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes until this next gas wave goes out, and we do see it start to pull up a little bit towards PV. So this last safe zone is probably going to land somewhere around the dump site, right there off of the west side of PV. You got some warehouses in there. You've got a bunch of different tires. Tire stacks, you've got shipping containers, a whole bunch of different little pieces there that people can use to go ahead and hide. And Eric, in that smoke, gonna hear Frankie hop on that ATV and start driving away, but he is not gonna move and give away his position. He is sitting inside of his vehicle in this smoke, just waiting it out.
We did see another kill pop up here as well, down to just 56. Operation inside of a cop car yet again. We saw that quite a few times before, just very highly prioritizing those cop cars. Just like that's a major damage actually going to go into Dark Team Paint. It's going to be from Orange Mirange. Orange Mirange once again inside of a building here, closing that door. We're getting a feel for how Orange Mirange likes to play this.
And we see that long nade coming out from Sharky, and it connects. Mick Laughlin gonna go down to a long bomb from Sharky.
Sharky running in here just to take a look at the absolute havoc that has been oh man, I can't even speak after that one. It was absolutely beautiful. Eric going to be on fire here, moving into the building, trying to heal up. Such a beautiful grenade.
That nade was nasty. That was a great drop right onto him, gets that kill. And we've got Eric going ahead and healing up inside that camper. Crossover now looking for some shots onto J-Rod. Unable to get any connections into either player. Crossover with the first hit. Gets it into J-Rod. I think he did take the helmet off J-Rod with a new helmet on already. Crossover now trying to find an angle. Decides that he's just going to go ahead and go for the vehicle. J-Rod going to throw a couple shots though into Crossover. Onto his body. Takes off the armor. And now Crossover's attention is returned back onto J-Rod. That vehicle, though, you can see that there's a bit of damage from Crossover onto it already. He wants to take that away and eliminate the chance of J-Rod getting away.
Yeah, the nice thing about that, though, as well, is even if you don't win the gunfight or you have to retreat, but just like that, J-Rod going to be able to take Crossover down. I was going to say the nice thing about getting shots into a car is if you do retreat, you've already done a lot of damage to your opponent. Sharky going to be able to get a kill here, too. It's going to be on Yarkinid. Now Party Girl trying to get some shots here into the Bison. Some beautiful shots coming out from the Party Girl.
Looking for a smoke nade. Swaps to a gas nade, I believe. Throwing one in there. Not sure where that one's going to go. We'll see if it ends up coming back to it. But Sloth now back onto this fight with Party Girl 420. And Drew going to step out, take some shots here. Party Girl going to get the pre-fire off. Drew steps right into it and gets eliminated.
Now Party Girl inside of that police car, going to be able to be nice and healthy here for any future engagements that do go down. We can see that Subsea is right on the other end of this smoke, hanging out behind the rock, trying to get a line onto Party Girl. Beautiful shot's going to come in over the top from Subsea. Subsea going to throw out two more here, trying to just make sure that he can confuse Party Girl just a little bit. Party Girl moving through that gas there. Another shot, just needs one more here. Party Girl going to peek out for just a second. Shot not going to connect for Subzy. Subzy hoping that she peeks out the other way. Molotov cocktail going to be used here as well, using so much. Subzy wanting this kill. Hot in pursuit right now, trying to bait out the party girl. Subzy still in pursuit here. The party girl does not want to dance though right now, but she will fall down.
Yeah, Subzy getting that final shot into the helmet of Party Girl. Party Girl is going to get eliminated, but we do have shots coming out now from J-Rod onto Cam Soda. J-Rod going to go ahead and disengage, though. Take off to the left. Right Gaming dying somewhere else on the map to Mock It Pone's grenade. And J-Rod still just kind of hanging out, heading through these trees, trying to find where his next position is going to be. This is actually pretty open in the trees other than it's spotty. And never mind, J-Rod is looking to get some shots off. Grenade goes out, gets very close to Spotty's vehicle, but not able to hit it. Turns, gets that first shot into Meowth, and is playing super aggressive, and J-Rod is on the push.
Yeah, J-Rod pushing in with this police car. Meowth in a cop car of his own, but we are going to see J-Rod jump right out, get a few shots into the cop car, and sink two into Meowth as well. Now following right behind his throwable, dancing around this rock. Meowth, though, has already gotten out of the cop car, going to get a few shots into J-Rod. J-Rod out of the cop car, puts two in, then jumps back into the cop car, trying to close this space once again. Meowth jumping up the rocks, trying to get a good line here onto J-Rod. Hasn't fired one out yet. Going to jump over on either side. Not going to take this fight until it works the best for Meowth. Now J-Rod moving back just a little bit, going to take 3 shots into the side of the police car. Meowth still hanging out on the rock. J-Rod dancing in and out, getting into the healthier of the cop cars, still with about 70 to work with here. See, one more shot does come in from Meowth. J-Rod, though, now far away from this fight, choosing to disengage, not being greedy, not here, not when so much money is on the line, but pushing back in will be J-Rod.
Yeah, J-Rod playing very aggressive, and we're seeing quite a few players play very aggressive here at the end. More aggressive than we saw in All-Stars or Legends, actually. So a lot of these guys are deciding to just kind of go for it. And how does that affect the guys at the top that are in these top 10 positions? Now, you decide to try and play a little bit even more passive this game, because knowing that that's going to happen and clearly seeing that it's happening.
You know that these players have by far the most to prove, and that makes them dangerous. Meowth going to get cut down by J-Rod. Absolute explosions going off right now in the kill feed. 45 players do remain now on board with Eric. Moving around this campsite.
Yeah, Eric just hanging out in this campsite.
Orange Morange was taken
down. It looks like he does get a kill. Orange Morange is taken out by Lethal Jake, and that will be a bit of a shakeup to the top 10. That can have a huge effect, so now we have to look and see who was the more consistent placed for the other 2 games. Most likely a player that has won a match will still take this down, unless it's, which could be a player from this match.
Actually had to look up for a second there just to believe that it was real. Orange Morange getting up from his seat. One of the best players so far here in Challengers, qualified through the road to TwitchCon. Now his fate is in the other players' hands, already getting some serious work done here in the first 2 games. We see Reptar, another player that qualified on the road to TwitchCon, still in this to fight on in that campsite for just a little bit, but we're going to jump on with Astral Relic, who has been cut down relatively early throughout this, hasn't picked up a kill yet, but does have the cop car inside of this valley that's going to keep it relatively protected. He needs to be able to keep that resource throughout the rest of the game. Lethal Jake taking several shots in from Sloth, getting behind the tree. Helmet popped up, though, of Sloth. Sloth trying to get behind that car, making sure he knows exactly where that shot is coming in from. More shots coming in as well. Going to get that throwable out there, investing many resources in this to stay alive. We do see Lethal Jake, too, rotating around. That was the initial fight, but this is turning into a pinch situation. So Sloth is going to get into that Jeep, try to avoid this one, but moving right into the clutches of another player.
Yeah, Sloth here has a ton of players around him, and this is that junkyard that I was talking about for this final safe zone, and you can kind of see all of the different little pieces that you can use to bump up on players. A ton of different spots to get cover. However, you are always at risk of getting pinched in this area. We'll see how this plays out as the guys all come in. Again, I think this is a lot like the Fairgrounds, where the guy in the center, if it does fully center on this and not force everybody to come out, the guy in the middle probably has a little bit better positioning than the other ones, because you're not going to see those guys in cars hopping out in the middle. People are going to be coming in. If you're on the edge of that, you're more at risk.
And if you didn't see the Fairgrounds finish that we did have a little bit earlier today, it was absolutely bonkers. Do want to draw to your attention as well, J-Rod was able to make his way over to that airdrop, assuming he has some crazy loot. Crazed, speaking of crazy, going to be on fire here. And now it is I Am EXP trying to get some of those shots in. Dadbod, yes please, inside of that kill feed, going to be able to take down Craze. Now it's going to be Home New JP, one of our other Road to TwitchCon qualifiers, going to be able to get a kill of his very own. That is the first one in this game.
And we do see that gas starting to push. Hamu JP is going to have to move off of that. We are getting into these later circles. The gas is starting to hurt, and it's starting to hurt a lot. And he does have quite a bit of distance. He was on the farther side of the safe zone, having to rotate for this circle. And we do see a bunch of people still right up along the north side, and we are pulling actually out of that zone. We're going to pull a little bit more towards the middle. You can see all the POIs here. This next safe zone is most likely going to center, and we're going to lose quite a bit of those POIs from this safe zone.
It is getting very tight here as well. You're just going to lose absolutely every point of interest on the map. This is going to be chaos. And right now you can see the players are going to have only their elevation to work off of to keep themselves nice and safe.
Yeah, they need to do that. They need to make themselves not easily seen. Hamu JP does make it into the safe zone, but he is going to run right into the clutches of Snotty G. Snotty G is going to go ahead and put him down, secure himself a little loot if he needs it. He looks like he still has a fairly healthy cop car here for how far into the match we are. I know it says that there's 39 left alive, but that is still pretty far. Typically, we see right around 39, 35, maybe 30 players. That's where it drops drastically from that point all the way down to those final 10 to 15 players. This is where it starts to pick up.
Slappy inside of this smoke here. Wild going to let a few shots out into Fist in the Wind. Now he's going to let a few rain out into Spotty as well. It's Spotty inside of that vehicle, only taking a couple of shots there. Should be able to stay relatively healthy there, finding good locations. But it's going to be Roge right now under assault from Class. Dadbod gets another one. He's going to be able to get Delta.
J-Rod actually went down there to Trosma, and J-Rod was our kill leader so far this match with 5. So we'll see if anybody else can step up and maybe jump above him for that $1,000 this match.
I think Dadbod may be pretty close here. We'll have to see when we actually do jump back on with Dadbod. See Eric and Fist in the Wind relatively close here. Neither of these players necessarily want to get out and start this fight any earlier than they have to.
Looks like Eric threw a grenade out the window there, dropped it right in the right spot for that front door. Had that door been open, Fist in the Wind may have taken damage from that. Either that or It's Spotty was going for it. It's Spotty, if he does decide to open up though, has a potential pinch if both of these guys target him.
Spotty inside of the truck. Might be going in here. He may be the catalyst to get this fight going. We see 2 Molotov cocktails flying out from Spotty. That's going to potentially bait Fist in the Wind out. He wants to stay in there as much as possible, but because if he does get baited out, he knows he's going to be right into the crosshairs of the world's best player that is in that trailer.
Yeah, I mean, with those Molotovs trying to get him out of there, though, the effect of those do not go through solid objects. He has to get it through a window and inside with him for the damage to actually occur.
Noble Spirits on top of this drop. Spotty still trying to get the pressure going.
Just playing the shark in the water there, just waiting it out, circling around his prey, waiting for somebody to open a door and take a fight with him.
We already saw the bait attempt to get Fist in the Wind out. It was not successful, so Spotty's still lurking in the wings here.
Wrong kind of bait, needs to change it up. MX Riders here taking a couple shots from another player, and Zachary hanging out in this smoke nade. Nobody really close to him except, I think the closest person is probably the other Zach in the game, who's now taking shots at the back, but It's Spotty. Now taking some shots into PD, 527, I'm Soul C, and White Chaos. Both can drop elsewhere on the map. Grenade coming out from It's Spotty. Not going to connect, though.
Dadbod getting another. Now it's going to be Spotty still inside of this truck.
Hanging out.
Reptar, this is an absolute slayer. We see that the helmet does get popped off. Another helmet going to be put on here now as well. Fist in the Wind is taken down. We saw the Fist in the Wind was one of the ones inside of that camper. Eric still inside of his. Have to wonder if his location is actually known by the opponent that is crashing this campsite. We actually see Reptar in just a terrible situation here. Going to get back inside of the Jeep, trying to run away from the gas. Drama picks up a kill onto Rooney. Now it's going to be Full Nelson taking down Senshu as well. Full Nelson on top of these rocks, going to be putting out more shots. Dark Team Paint going to go down. Zach taking down Enzo as well. Only 24 players do remain here. And the gas still about to advance in just one more second. Full Nelson still on the rock. And we're going to see Class, who came in 11th in that first game, taking down Zachary. Zachary, one of the best placing players so far. That is going to be absolutely big. That could pave the way for a player like Class to actually come out on top overall as our #1 challenger.
Yeah, I mean, seeing Class get some kills there too, though. We talked about him being on the bubble originally in Game 1 in 11th. Had a little bit of a rough showing during Game 2, but that strong performance of being in 11th, if he can get a good performance here, he could still crack into that top 10.
Class hanging out here behind this rock. It has been super lucrative for him so far. 3 kills in that back pocket, a whole bunch of ammo to work with as well, so can perch up there and get the rifling going, but gas will be collapsing very shortly. T-Rain's also on the outskirts here. We can see Dadbod hanging out in by the water. This Jeep about to explode. Bloodshot Owens needs to get out of that before it does. Bloodshot Owens going to be deleted. Noble Spirits getting a kill here. Noble Spirits now seeing Class, trying to just aim where he thinks Class may peek out. Poncho going to pick up a kill onto Wild. Moving back, Noble Spirits trying to get to that rock, knowing that Class may actually invest this smoke here. That is exactly what we do see. Lets out a couple shots into the smoke, into the darkness. Nothing going to connect there. Does have the throwable, trying to bait out the opponent.
Yeah, he's actually taking some shots there. Also in the back, right past Class into the vehicle, eating away at Class's car. So Class is actually going to hop out. It looks like his car was moving fairly slow. I think he probably got enough of it ripped apart that he doesn't have the boost anymore, thanks to Spirits taking aim at it. And now Flowers looking for one of these shots, trying to figure out where the next combat's going to come from. He's got players on every side of him, and we are going to lose Zach to Sloth in 21st, and we are down to the top 20, and Detox takes a couple shots from Flowers, and Sloth then gets eliminated in 20th.
Need to keep an eye on the Dadbod as well, with 5 kills already. Could be coming out as our #1 Slayer. Top 17, Trozma, big Slayer, is going to be taken out. Flowers really showing up in this one. We already did see what Flowers could do in the qualifying matches, but now Eric and PD both inside of the smoke, maybe unaware of each other's locations. Flowers going to take down Detox, and he's looking for another one as well. This time it's going to be into Reigns, getting the shots into that vehicle. We'll have to see if Reigns does pop out. Only 5 health remaining, bleeding very heavily. Dadbod inside of the smoke. Let's see if Daddy can give us another. Flowers going to be able to take down Reigns, and now looking to Snotty is Flowers, trying to get this kill. Eric and PD still right on top of each other. We have to see if they actually do notice each other's locations. The Molotov cocktail may actually force Eric out. Flowers going to go down to Snotty. A different fight is actually going to be the one that PD does find. Taking out that shotgun, trying to get the shots in, actually going to close the door here, looking to get this kill. Shotgun at far range, not going to be too effective. Now starting to close that space, but ultimately it's going to be MX Riders finding this one. Drama's getting a kill onto Poncho. It is heating up here. We are about to hit our top 10. Only one more kill does remain until that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. We are on board with Class now for a second. Actually, we're going to cut over to Spirits, and he is going to nail down a kill onto Dramas to make this the top 10. Musamaihu steps out, takes a couple shots into the back of Spirits, takes off the armor. Spirits still with a lot of health left. We'll see if Moose decides to make a press there. Spirits going to take some shots onto Dadbot. Dadbot out in the open, doesn't have anything to hide behind. He is just going to have to try and play this fight out. He's getting shot at from both sides. I don't think he's going to be able to play his way out. Spotty going to finalize that kill onto Dadbot.
Dadbod trying to prove that it is Dadbod season, but he is cut down with 5 kills. That may be the highest so far. I think he's actually tied with J-Rod right now. So if any of these players can top 5, they will be able to get our $1,000 bonus for top kills. 9 players to potentially do that. Snotty on the outskirts looking out from this tree. Does see Full Nelson is only 50 meters away. MX Rider still in the position where he was able to pick up those kills recently, but we have a situation where 3 players are invested in combat. Eric still hiding out as well inside of the smoke. We're actually going to have 3 players. So who is going to be the first to notice the other one is there? Musamaihu's moving outside of the smoke. If someone lets out an errant shot right now, they may connect. Full Nelson goes down. Still 3 players inside of the smoke. When will it dissipate? Supersonic, this is about to explode.
You see Class on the left down here as he's up on screen, and he's just waiting this out. He's down just a little bit farther in these campers. Asperella gonna get taken out here, and Snotty G now in a fight here with Spotty. Gets tagged once after putting a shot into Spotty. He's well ahead, but MX Rider is gonna finally get found as that smoke nade goes away by Moose and Myhoos. And Moose, I'm not sure he's aware that Eric's inside as well. He does know he's there now. Eric coming out with some pre-fire around the corner, trying to get some connections, unable to find him.
Eric has been able to hide in here for so long, but his time is up, and with the jig being up, he needs to do the dance, and Snooty is going to find some fire from Moose and Myhoos. Moose and Myhoos does notice, though, that he is surrounded, making sure that he doesn't get pinched here in the scenario. Eric still engrossed in that fight around the camper after hiding out there for so long with Class. Class trying to find that kill. Moose and Myhoos going to go onto the ATV, trying to get out of a bad situation. Spotty very low here. Moose and Myhoos ultimately going to fall down to Class, and now, just like that, an explosion absolutely going to delete. We are down to just 3 players here. It's Spotty, Spirits, and Snooty.
That is not the way you want to go. Player taking a shot at Class, misses, hits the vehicle, and takes them both out. And Spotty left in a position where he's out across and has nobody next to him. So right here, we're going to see Spirits step up, start taking the shots. He's going to get him down. Now, Spirits needs to get some healing off, needs to rotate out from where he's going to be expected to be. Spotty should be trying to make his press now if he's going to do it while Noble Spirits is hurt. And they do have some shots coming out already. Spirits knowing that that's what's going to happen. He does have the better position with this ridge, so if he can get healed up, if Spotty gives him enough time, he's going to have a big advantage from up here.
Spotty trying to actually, not being nearly as aggressive as I thought he would be, trying to find a better shot, definitely respecting what this ledge can do for Noble Spirits, our top 2. Who is going to be able to win Challengers match number 3? Throwing out the grenade. This should be able to bait Spotty out. Spotty moves out into the fire, able to dip back behind that camper just in time. Another throwable going to come out. This time we are going to see the Molotov cocktail connect. Rotating around, Nobles goes the wrong way, not able to connect with Spotty now, going to throw another one out. Spotty doesn't have to move here. It doesn't connect with him yet. Both players relatively even in health. Just like that, though, Spotty starting to drop down and moves right to the crosshair of Noble Spirits. Noble Spirits gonna take game number 3. TwitchCon, let me hear you make some noise for our final game of TwitchCon.
Spirits coming in big at the end there. Molotovs finally baits him out and gets that kill. That's a big kill for Spirits. We'll see how that ends up shaking up that top 10 and see where he lands.
We are going to have to see the overall results, but an incredible finish coming in, and you can tell just a sigh of relief coming out from Spirits after managing to get that one. Just absolutely incredible play coming in, but let's take a look at just that. Let's see the results. Let's see where the players did fall in game number 3, and as you can see, we actually have 6 kills ultimately coming in from Class. So Class is going to be able to get that 1,000.
Yep.
Class not showing up too much in that first game. We saw Class coming in 11th. This is one of those players that we do expect a lot from on Set to Destroy X, an organization that has been very prevalent here in H1Z1 throughout the esports history. And now Class being able to at least take that $1,000, but when we see the overall results, we'll have to see where Class actually does fall.
Actually taking $1,000 away from another STDX member, though. So Dadbod was tied at 5, but I believe he had the first kill of the game, so had it gone down, he would have won the $1,000. So that last kill on Class ends up taking it away from his friend.
Yeah, we saw Dadbod flexing throughout that entire game. Only getting 5 kills, though, is not going to be enough to do it, but Dadbod would have had it if he lasted maybe a little bit longer. You know, one kill could have changed the entire tide of that game, but major congratulations to our top finishers there, in particular Noble Spirits taking a huge amount of points there. And in just a little bit, we're going to wait for everyone to tally everything up. Math is very difficult. We want to make sure that we do it right, and then we'll be able to see the overall results from all 3 of our Challengers finals here today and see who actually gets to take the king share of that prize pool. $15,000 will be going to first place.
I've typically at the end of these had a prediction to say I know who that first place person was, and I could figure it out during the match. I'm not 100% certain on this one, and I am not going to throw one out. I'm going to keep my intact record and not predict this one.
We saw Zachary come out and slay in the first game with 7. We saw Impact Afro in the second game come out with 8, and then Class come out with 6. No one actually breaking that record, though. We didn't see anyone take 10, so 9 is going to be the cap that we saw throughout the entire weekend. But before we actually recap everything and announce the winner, just want to give a major shout out to Daybreak. Thank them for an incredible weekend. It was so much fun to get to cast with you, Supersonic, but also the casters who are aren't up here right now. We had Squiggle Poof, Theo, and then also Mighty Mouse. It was a whole bunch of fun, but let's get straight to it. Let's see who our winners are. Let's check the standings right now. So excited to see who actually did win this one. It's gonna be It's Spotty coming in first place. Everybody give it up to It's Spotty, the winner of $15,000. After that, we will have Full Nelson and Noble Spirits, the winner of your third game, able to come in third place here, just edging out Orange Morange. And we're gonna give it to Kelly right now and get this winner ceremony on the way.
Man, it started on Friday with these 7 qualifiers, and now we have the top 3 guys. I'm really excited to bring up our third place winner, bringing up Noble Spirits. Noble, congratulations, man. I got your trophy right here for you, dude. Is there anything you want to say to the audience, people watching at home?
If you have a dream, put your mind to it, anything's possible. Like,
dude, thank you, man. And congratulations, dude. And you can go and take a step off now. Everyone, give it up for Spirits. And now I'm going to bring on the second place. It is Full Nelson. Full Nelson, man, you got a lot of fans in the audience today. Anything you want to do? Anything you want to shout out? Congratulations.
I don't know. Just it's a lot of stuff going on right now.
Well, dude, you feeling good?
Yep.
Congratulations, man. You can step off right now. And it is my pleasure to bring your first place winner, everyone. It's Spotty. Let's bring on It's Spotty, guys. The first place winner, $15,000. Congratulations. And here is your trophy, dude. Man, what was going through your mind in that last match?
Everyone was basically just driving around in a car, so I just did the same thing, and no one shot at me, so I just kept going in circles.
Were you expecting to, not only make it to top 10, to first place coming into these qualifiers on Friday and Saturday?
Oh, I knew I was going to win. I'm the best player here, I mean.
Oh, okay. All right.
Free love.
Free. Well, is there anything you want to say to maybe some potential contenders out there that want to take you down later on?
Good luck.
All right, well, if it was so easy, let's check out a highlight of all of your easy plays. Let's check out that highlight. Or maybe it was so good we don't have it ready, it burned. All right, well, congratulations, man. $15,000. I've even heard the audio. There we go. All right, man, so let's look at this highlight reel right now. Tell me what was going through your mind when this was happening. Okay. Well, looking at some good action here from H1Z1. You care to commentate on it?
Yeah, that's my boy Sharky. He's really good at this game as well. I was not looking forward to getting into a gun battle with him. He'll two-tap you if you stay in a gunfight too long.
All right, we got J-Rod and Meowth here now. Maybe get some pro player insight from you. Who would you say is the better player here, J-Rod or Meowth?
I can't tell. I mean, it looks like J-Rod had a car and Meowth didn't, so it's just, he just didn't have anything there.
So after game 1, were you worried that you weren't going to really place? Was there any concerns going through your mind at the time, or were you still confident not going to let it take you?
I was still confident. I was just trying to place consistently top 10 and maybe get a win in one of the games if I was lucky enough to get the safe zone towards me. And right here, I knew I already won, so I didn't really care if I died, so I gave it to him. Good job, Noble.
And what are you going to be doing? What's the first thing you're going to buy with the $15,000?
It's going straight into the bank. This is a free trip. I'm from Massachusetts, so spent quite a bit coming here. Just glad I got it.
All right, man. A free trip and $15,000 in the bank, that's not that bad, dude. Is there anything you want to say, any shout-outs that you want to give to the people watching at home?
Free my boy Darren.
All right, man, good luck and congratulations on that win from the challengers. You can step off right now. And to everyone watching, thank you guys so much for joining us today. This has been an amazing event, everyone. I want to give a shout out to our production crew, of course, and to everyone here, all of the casters, all of the talent, and of course to our sponsors, everyone. We got MetaThreads, Astros, Asus Republic of Gamers, Corsair, and Vertigear. And guys, we have a highlight video coming up to show you everything that's